And yeah, the big thing today is that finally, after those 6 days of the water outages and the boil waters advisories, at some point today, the water coming out of your taps in Richmond, Henrico, Hanover, and eastern Goochland should be safe enough to consume without having to boil it. Again, resetting how we got here in the first place. There was the power outage from last weekend's storm that led to several failures at the Richmond Water Treatment Plant, and that led to a drop in water pressure or a loss in water pressure entirely at some households, and that led to first a boil water advisory in Richmond that spread out to eastern Hanover and Henrico before spreading to western Henrico and eastern Goochland. Now, for the past few days, the focus has been on restoring operations at the plant, restoring that water pressure to a level that allows them to do these water tests to see whether or not the boil water advisories can be lifted. Now, in order for that to happen, there have to be 2 tests separated by 16 hours. All localities say they've done that first test. The results came back negative, which is a good thing. They've already taken the samples for that second test, which needs sort of 24 hours of processing before they get the results. And those could be coming in starting this morning for Richmond and up to this afternoon, potentially in Hanover. And if those results also come back negative, then they would be able to lift the boil water advisories. But if they come back positive, which is a bad thing in this case, that sort of restarts the clock for the testing process. Now, again, if it comes back negative, which Richmond Mayor Danny Avula says he is confident will happen, and it's a low likelihood that this will have to be restarted, that would allow focus then to be on what exactly happened, who potentially was at fault, what material or machines could have been responsible for this. And Avula says that as early as next week, they could have a third-party investigator in place to start looking at that.
What actually happened to lead to this event, looking at what investments we need to make, whether there are machinery, infrastructure, information technology, etc., and then really preparing for resilience and sustainability beyond this initial period. So more to come on that. I mean, we will absolutely need the help of this independent assessor to really map out those recommendations, and we'll absolutely share them at that time.
And Governor Glenn Youngkin says the state will also be doing their own independent investigation into what happened. Again, the big thing, though, is the boil water advisories could be lifted for all localities today. Stay tuned on our website, WTVR.com, and make sure to download the CBS 6 app, as we'll be pushing out that information as soon as we get it.